The day Verizon went dark. Imagine waking up and your phone, your wallet, your GPS, your lifeline just stops working. No bars, no internet, no calls, just 3 letters staring back at you, SOS. And this isn't just happening to you. Across New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Atlanta. Millions of people are looking at their phones and seeing the exact same thing. At coffee shops, Apple Pay suddenly stops working. Uber drivers pull over because navigation just died. People step outside, holding their phones up in the air, hoping for a signal that never comes. And at that moment, nobody knows why. No warning, no explanation, no answers. Over 1.5 million people have effectively gone offline at the same time. This is the story of the Verizon outage of 2026. What actually happened, why the most reliable network failed, and why a $20 credit only made customers angrier. It starts at 11:55 a.m. Eastern Time. That's the moment everything changes. Outage tracking site down detector doesn't just spike, it explodes. Nearly 180,000 reports flood in within minutes. And those are only the people who manage to find Wi-Fi. In reality, the number affected is far higher. Across the country, iPhones switch into emergency-only mode. The SOS icon, something designed for life or death situations, becomes the default screen for millions of users. In major cities, police departments begin issuing alerts. Please do not call 911 just to test your phone. If you have a real emergency, you're told to find a landline. A landline in 2026. Meanwhile, people are missing work calls. Parents can't reach their kids. Caregivers can't check on elderly family members. And through all of this, Verizon is silent. For nearly an hour, there's nothing. No explanation, no estimated fix, no reassurance. Then finally, a short corporate message appears. We are aware of an issue. Our engineers are engaged. Engaged. For millions of customers, that single word feels completely disconnected from reality. As the outage stretches on, one question dominates social media. Was this a cyber attack? In 2026, that's everyone's first thought. Foreign interference, ransomware, a coordinated hack. Verizon quickly denies that. Instead, they describe the cause as a software issue, a failure deep inside the network's core systems. In simple terms, the brain of the network stopped communicating with the rest of the body. Calls couldn't route, data couldn't authenticate, phones didn't know where to connect. But this is where the story takes a darker turn, because analysts didn't just look at the code. They looked at corporate decisions. Just 2 months earlier, in November 2025, Verizon announced massive layoffs, around 13,000 employees. According to industry reports, those layoffs included experienced network engineers and operations staff, people with institutional knowledge, people who understood legacy systems, people who knew how to spot silent failures before they spread. Now, to be clear, there is no official confirmation that layoffs caused the outage, but experts are asking an uncomfortable question. Did aggressive cost-cutting reduce redundancy in a system that absolutely cannot afford to fail? When companies run lean, they save money, but they also remove safety nets. And when something breaks, there are fewer people who know how to fix it. Fast. That's why the Federal Communications Commission steps in. An investigation is opened to determine whether this was simply a technical failure, or a failure of oversight, planning, and risk management. Finally, at around 10:20 p.m., nearly 10 hours later, the bars come back. SOS disappears, phones reconnect, messages flood in all at once, but the damage is already done. Small businesses report thousands of dollars in lost sales. Hourly workers miss shifts and lose pay. Families spend the day anxious, disconnected, and frustrated. So how does Verizon respond? They offer a $20 credit, but there's a catch. It's not automatic. Customers have to log into the My Verizon app and manually claim it. For many people, that feels less like compensation and more like an insult. 10 hours without service, 10 hours without reliable emergency communication, and the solution is essentially the price of a pizza. Meanwhile, competitors don't miss the opportunity. AT&T posts subtle but pointed messages highlighting network reliability and encouraging customers to switch. In the telecom world, this is called churn, and analysts expect this outage to drive a noticeable increase over the coming months. But this outage wasn't just a bad day for Verizon. It was a wake-up call for everyone. Our phones aren't just phones anymore. They're our wallets, our maps, our emergency lifelines, our connection to the people we love, and all of it depends on systems most of us never think about, until they fail. Experts say this won't be the last major outage we see. The real question isn't if it happens again, it's when. And next time, it might not be Verizon, it could be another carrier, or something even bigger. That's why experts are now urging people to think about digital redundancy. Know where your neighbors live, keep important numbers written down, and maybe keep a physical map in your car. Because when your phone switches to SOS, it's not just a notification, it's a warning. So what do you think? Is $20 enough for 10 hours of silence? Or did this outage permanently change how much you trust your carrier? Let me know in the comments. I'm reading all of them. If you want more breakdowns of the technology that quietly runs our lives, hit subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.